Hello, my name is Allison Harville, and I will be going over the recommendations for the UNE office site, and we'll be talking a little bit more in detail about the different options that we have for the different priority areas. So with the outline of this presentation, there'll be a very short background about the site, and then we're going to go over the different priorities, 1, 2, and 3, and the different recommendations that were researched and how we can help with those different priority areas. So with the UNE office site, there are 60 full-time employees of these within this site. 40% are male and 60% are female. The ages range from 22 to 50 years old, and the office is located in the Portland, Maine area. In addition to this area, there is no like health committee or anything like that to help with issues. There hasn't been any OSHA issues or anything like that. So the area is fairly well defined, and there hasn't been really any outstanding issues within this area. So the hazard priority number 1, within this area, since it's an office area, the repetitive typing is common within this position. So a lot of the same motions of answering phones, working on a computer, clicking of a mouse. So there was interviews and observations done during the hazard analysis. And within this area, employees hardly ever leave their desk, and so they don't take breaks very often. So the motions, the physical motions that happen within this area happen on a normal basis without any breaks. So the priority recommendation for this priority, which is the repetitive motion, I thought that maybe there should be a safety committee, which there isn't one with this office setting. And since it's a public health area, there's public health and it's a university, there's a thought that maybe a public health class could actually come up with some ways to help this issue as part of their class. So with this safety committee, there's management to encourage employees to participate in implementing and monitoring the company's safety program. There's a reduced risk of workplace injuries and illness when you have a safety committee and have safety regulations. And UNE public health program opportunities for students. If they have a safety committee, it will help. They can help develop and advise and implement wellness policy programs and trainings. Also, you want to have educational programs with this priority. So if the office is spending money on materials, you don't necessarily know that the staff is using these materials effectively. So if by having more educational programs, they're able to use this different furniture and materials effectively. And by having these trainings, it could also be part of the company's policy. So employees must complete trainings twice a year. And this could be on videos, answering a few questions, or actually going to a physical training. Hazard priority number 2, this priority is talking about breaks. So a lot of the times within the observation and interviews, this particular staff member did not leave the desk often, except for like bathroom breaks. She ate her lunch at her desk. So this could be an issue. So breaks are extremely important, not only to like stretch and grab lunch, but it also, with breaks, it also prevents eye strain, especially if you're sitting and looking at a computer every day for 8 hours a day, which is a common 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. These people are sitting at their desk looking at computers. So it can give them, their eyes time to rest. And also OSHA recommends 10-minute breaks for every hour spent at the computer. So the recommendations for this, if you don't take a break, it affects emotional and physical aspects of employees on the office site. So it tends to make them less productive. Again, with wellness policies, this is important. So this could also help with wellness policies as well. Have people take breaks, so they need to take breaks. And the CDC also looks at, health promotion activity. Um, this also improves the outcome of work. If you have people taking breaks and looking at wellness policies, it actually the productivity actually goes up. Um, so again, recommendations continue for priority number 2. Um, so policies also must address the holistic health approach. Um, so looking at everything, so physical, spiritual. So with a a wellness policy, you can actually address all of these different things for people as much as possible. Having a wellness policy there, giving your employees what they need to be productive. Um, so, and the last bullet point here, policy. It doesn't only just affect the employees, but it affects the productivity. It actually increases it and helps organization. Hazard priority number 3. This is the last priority that we looked at the site, and was a fairly big deal. Was the level of noise within the office, and it actually had to do with heating and ventilation. When it came on, it was a little bit above average. So when researching this priority and the recommendations, um, there was some ways to look at this. So there was like designated closed off areas where employees could shut the door and work, and then groups of people could go there, so it cut down on the noise level. And if you are going to do this, there are policies in place, again, policies, workplace policies. So you have to reserve a quiet space and collaboration space so everyone can have turns. Um, and then looking at the PPE, um, this could be, a way for employers to also provide headsets. So there could be a policy around that to cut out noise. So, you could answer phones. It could, somehow be hooked up so the phone could ring and you could answer the phone that way, but also could cut out noise so people could be more productive. In conclusion to this presentation, the recommendations were researched very carefully in relation to the 3 key priorities that were observed and really looked at and researched during the hazard analysis uh, interviews. So by looking at these different areas, we were able to research and find out that there are, in fact, ways that we can actually help these problems within the workplace of the UNE Portland campus in the actual office site.